Victor Spiritual Teaching, Chapter 14, The Depth of the Soul. Debts and obligations of any kind are part of mortal life. Financial obligations in the form of loans from credit institutions may include debts to the public sector as well as other fees. The debts can also be in the form of payments of some kind. These debts and obligations are worldly and are related to the worldly realm. They are in fact the work and fabrication of man. When the debtor dies and the soul leaves the body, the person leaves all his debts behind, and either others will settle them or they will disappear and be abolished. Therefore, such debts have no value in the spiritual realm, and the same applies to worldly possessions that are left behind and become nothing for the person at the end of life. It is important to understand that success in life is not measured in terms of earthly possessions and assets at the end of life, nor are these debts considered deductibles of any kind. The only true success in life is spiritual development and rising consciousness. That is the success that the soul takes with it from life to life. In this way, the process of development of the soul continues after life and in the future lives here on earth. Worldly wealth and success can never be anything other than temporary happiness and contentment, but is nevertheless an experience of some kind for the soul. The soul can also accumulate debts and obligations that it carries with it from life to life until they are settled. The soul may be paying off debts from the past lives as well as from the current life. The universal law says, "Whatever you do to other will be done unto you." A person who steals from others will experience loss later. A person who is mean and cruel to his neighbor will experience the same thing on his own skin. Most often these debts obey the law of karma, and here all debts must be paid off in the end. When the soul is young and the individual is progressive, the soul accumulates a lot of debts toward others because it can be ruthless in the race for quality of life and often loses its part in it. This individual's experience is that he only lives once, and he therefore often wishes to get the most out of his one life. In this way, many soul debts are created that await repayment in the lives to come, and it often takes the soul many lives to settle such debts. Therefore, older souls tend to go through difficult lives with great adversity and resistance. And then it is usual these debts that are being paid off. As the soul grows older, it ceases to incur debt and works to settle its older debts. Forgiveness is a way to pay off the debts of the soul. If someone wrongs you, there are two ways to settle such debts: to get revenge later or to forgive the person from your heart and soul and thus pay off the debt. That is why the process of forgiveness is such an important part of the spiritual opening, to pay off the soul's older debts so it can continue its process of development and find its way home into the energy of God. Since each person is an eternal soul in a mortal body, the true possession of an individual are spiritual development and rising consciousness. And the same is true of the debts. The only debts that are found are the soul's debts to others and to oneself, as previously described. All earthly things, whether they are debts or possession, are temporary and remain here on earth when the soul finally leaves the body at the end of life. He who has understood and received these things in his heart has become free from worries and fears about worldly debts and possessions. Many people spend their lives trying to acquire as much of the worldly things as possible, then live in a great fear of losing the possession they have accumulated. The so-called earthly possessions are borrowed because the soul has nothing here on earth. The body belongs to the earth and returns to it in the end of life. A person who is controlled by the ego experiences great temptation about earthly things and possessions. But as the spiritual opening increases and the process progresses, such temptation diminishes and contentment takes over. The soul seeks to experience and develop. It does not seek extravagance like the ego. For in time the awakened will become grateful for their health, their shelter, their food, and their clothing. A lot of gratitude is created for things that were previously taken for granted. The awakened one will be free from worldly possessions with everything, which is a great freedom, and he will feel as if the weight of the burden has been lifted from him. Consciousness also changes so that more love, positivity, and helpfulness appear toward one's neighbor and oneself. And only then does the person stop incurring debts of the soul. Then eventually her last debts will be paid off with forgiveness, and only then is she ready to experience the God energy in her body. When consciousness rises, the path only leads along the spiritual path, and there is no turning back to the previous life once one has set out.